Just giving everybody a few minutes to get settled in here. Then for my computer to catch up here. All right. Turn down my volume on my. All right, so let's see here. Tonight we're going to make a Christmas card, of course. I'm going to use the inspiration stamp craft, the elves, and one of the stencils. One second, I turn my other the volume down here. The stencil, where is it? The curly ribbon stencil. Hi Linda, welcome. I'm just getting started, so I'm going to make a Christmas card tonight using the Crafty Elf stamp set, which is part of the inspiration box, and for this month, and I'm going to use the curly ribbon stencil, and we're going to start with that right away. Hi Donna, I'm doing really good. How are you? It's totally fine changing handles. That works. I've changed mine a couple of times. So I have a couple of devices going here so that I can see and hopefully, you know, keep in check with the chat as well. I did kind of pre-start my background tonight because I wanted it to dry. So I took one of the slimline pre-cut card panels, and I started with the curvy ribbon stencil, and if you can tell here, you know, you can see that I put it down, and I did the red first and then I let it dry and then did the rest and then did the green, and I figured I'd show you guys how I did the rest of this, and then I'd let it dry, and I'll make another card with this later. So what I did is I noticed that I probably should have moved it over just a little bit because I don't have a ton of space right here, but I figured I'll make it work. I just have to choose which ribbon I want here, and I thought let's just kind of see how we got. I think I'm going to use this one here, and I'm just going to add some green in right here. So I just got this down, and I'm going to use some low post tape, and this is the rainbow tape from Bruce Monroe, and I'm going to just put a little bit. It's kind of like a post-it note tape. You could use washi tape, just something kind of to cover up and protect the other areas. I don't need a big area of it because we're just going to do a small area. So for the red, I used the Scarlet Glitter Glaze, and for the green, I used Key Lime, because what's Christmas without red and green, right? I tend to make mostly Christmas cards in traditional colors, but I am leaning more towards non-traditional colors. So all I did is I just have a spatula here, and I just kind of very carefully spread this out. I've had my green for a while. The red was new, and I didn't mix it up really well. You know, I don't know if it's settled in shipment because, you know, it gets jostled around. So it didn't quite as thick as my green because, you know, it's been sitting and settled, and I've used it a few times, but I figured it would work. So I just used just a little bit, and that's all, you know. It doesn't take much. I just used a tiny bit of. Now this one, I will tell you, I am missing the piece for my cover. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. With the glitter glazes, you want to, let me get this kind of cleaned up here. I have a silicone. This is from Nuvo. I like it because if it dries on it, it's easy to clean off. And then of course I'm going to wipe off this really quick here, but so it doesn't dry on my thing. But what you should, when you get your glazes, you should have this piece here. Do not get rid of this piece. This helps keep the seal and keep it tight from drying out. Now this is the older jar, and I know I had the piece and I think I lost it. So it's doing so good so far, but I just wanted to say, make sure you do not throw this piece out. And actually, I like to flip it upside down and put my tool on it when I'm in between. So, all right, let's move that off and see, we got a nice little green, and we don't have any green in here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get any green in there, but I might do that later. But look at the shine on that. Let's see if I can, it's kind of see it there. All right, let's put that aside to dry, and I'm just gonna peel these off. And how's the weather where you guys are at? I'm curious because our weather changed drastically today. Usually I take my stencils right away to the sink and clean. Linda, I love shine too, and with Christmas you have to have shine. You have to have glitter, you have to have shine, right? And the nice thing with the glitter glaze is it dries and it doesn't come off. We started today at 72 degrees, and by morning it's going to be 30. So it's going to be cold. But it was 60 or 59 when I left work tonight at 5. So cold, yeah, it's going to be cold here, but I'm looking forward to it. I've been kind of warm. So what else I did ahead of time is I stamped out the standing elf, the elf taping the box, and the elf with the ribbon ahead of time, and the packages on some Perfect Blend paper. And I fussy cut them out because I don't have the dies yet. They're in my cart. I just have to get them. I just haven't done that yet. I need to do that quickly so I can do it. Oh, it's supposed to be 10 degrees tonight. That's colder than me. 32 is what we're supposed to get to. But I stamped them out, fussy cut them out, and then I stuck them to my stick and stamp mat to keep them in place. And they've been stuck for a little bit. I've been using this one, so it's sticky, but this is the Perfect Blend paper, and you know, as you cut, I kind of bend the paper, so that's why these are kind of pulling off a little bit. And I have a variety of Copic markers here. I love to color with Copic markers, and I tend to just grab markers anymore and make them work. So don't be afraid to do that. So we are going to do a little bit of coloring tonight, mostly because I have a couple of them done, but then I made a video the other day using the Rainbow Swirl stencil, and I used this elf on it. And so I was like, oh, well, I want 3 elves. And I thought, well, I would just show you how I do my coloring. So I don't, you know, with smaller images, I don't do a ton of blending. If I have a bigger image, I'll do 3-color blending. I do darkest to light usually. That's my personal preference, but sometimes, you know, I just go with it. I figure, you know, it's handmade. So I just go and color and have fun. I love to color. When I was in college, I worked as a telephone operator for a few months, and that's what we would do. When friends of mine and I, we would color while we were talking on the phone. You know, we did like credit cards or calling cards, and so we were waiting for cards, you know, calls. We would color in between with colored pencils and colored books, and because it was something we could do and something we could stop, and also something you could kind of do while you were talking on the phone with the customer if you needed to. So I've just always loved to color. So this is just E000, and then for the cheeks I'm using R20, and I'm just kind of adding just a little bit, because you know, what's an elf without some rosy cheeks, right? Happy little elves. And actually what I think I'm going to do is and then I'm just going over them a little bit to kind of blend out those cheeks with this E000. I'm actually thinking of this elf. I have an idea for a card using him later on, because I already have one kind of colored and done. I think I'm going to use him then. And I'm going to go a little bit different with my colors than what I have for the ones I'm going to use on my card. I'm just going to flip-flop them. So I'm going to go with G28 and YG63. Now these colors are really far off in the in the color wheel if you think about it, the two greens, but I'm going to make them work. So because they're so far off, I'm going to start with the light green, and I'm just going to go ahead and color. I'm not going to go with the whole stripes. I'm going to go in and color the whole thing. So I'm super excited. I love Christmas. I love Halloween, but I love Christmas. I love Christmas season. I've already started listening to Christmas music. I know. I always start November 1st. It's my favorite thing. I have it all played up on I have an iPod that is just, it's my son's first iPod he ever had, an iPod Touch, like the original iPod Touch. And I keep Christmas music on all the time. And I plugged that in today so it would start charging when I'm in my phone, in the car. So I'm just going to go ahead and color his whole pretty much outfit except his belt with this green. You know, you could go traditional and go greens and maybe some yellows, you know, however you want, but I just thought it'd be fun to just do them all one color, and then we're going to add a little sparkle to him because, you know, he's an elf. He needs some sparkle. And I think it's, you know, sometimes you just need to go easy when you color. And then go ahead and do this. And we're going to get in, and we're going to just put in some dark colors, and then we're going to blend it out. Just a few here and there. Nothing fancy. Just some maybe in the creases here where it might be a little bit more shadowy, just to give him some color, and then we'll give him a little color in his. But here is where it's an elf with attitude. It is an elf with attitude. I'm going to go ahead and put, even though I colored it with the light green, I'm going to go ahead and color his collar with the dark green, and I'm going to stripe his tights. And I kind of colored it kind of dark, so I actually colored more than one stripe with the green there, but that's okay. And then we'll go ahead and color him out. The other day I was, my honey and I were watching TV, and Elf was actually on, so we watched it for a while. So I don't usually watch Christmas movies this early. I usually do wait till after Thanksgiving. I don't decorate my tree till after Thanksgiving. A lot of times I put my tree up, but I only leave the light. I just leave it with the lights on, but I don't usually decorate it till after Thanksgiving. And I think Christmas music's part of it, the holiday, so that's why I like listening to it all the time. I'll probably listen to Christmas music to the end of January, just because, maybe even longer. All right, we're gonna just try to blend that out just a little bit more. I did it with some reds like this one, my other elf, so, and we'll just leave him to kind of sit. And then we need to color his hair. I'm just gonna grab some brown here. This is E25. And I will put the colors in the, that I used in the description tomorrow below. I used these colors on my card the other day. It's the same colors, and I just thought I'd pull them out and use them again. I liked how they turned out. Now for the belt, I am going to use C7, and I'm just, instead of blending it, I'm just going to make it dark black or dark charcoaly color. And then I'm using, what I like to use for gold is this Y24 or Y23, but I think my Y23 might need to be filled. So I just grabbed this one. And there we go. We got one little elf all ready to go. So I'm going to pull him off the stick and stamp mat here and let him off to the side because I don't need him tonight, but I'm going to add some sparkle to him. All right, moving on. This guy we're going to do in traditional red and green colors. So we're going to give him a little bit of a red hat. So I'm using R39 and R37 is the other color, but we'll just fill in a little bit here and there. I didn't realize I grabbed the darker color. That's that's fine. We'll color it in a little bit. Let's see, there's that stripe. So this one's going to be red, this is going to be red, and then our pom-pom here is going to be a little red. So I'm super excited. I am headed to Minnesota on Saturday to craft with a bunch of my friends in Minnesota. They're Minnesota Junkies from the Stamp Junkies website or Facebook group. And so I'm headed up in the morning, and a couple people I've talked to I think we're all pretty much making Christmas cards. So it'll be fun. We craft from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then I'm spending the night with a friend. She offered to let me stay with her that night. So that'll be fun. We got together at Easter this last year and just had a blast. And usually I try to get together with them twice a year because it's a little bit of a drive for me. About 3-hour drive. So I like to try to come on the longer days when they get together to craft. So that will be fun. And hopefully I will get a bunch of Christmas cards done. But you know, I don't know how many, if you guys have gone to crops, and I'm a talker. So part of the fun of going to crops and craft days is just visiting and talking with your friends. So we'll see. Then I thought what I would do, since I gave him that, is give him some gold. We need to give him some gold. And so we're going to go ahead and give him a gold collar. And I'm going to give him some gold shoes. I just thought that would be kind of fun to change up the colors a little bit. So the preface of my card is that the ribbon is what the ribbon of what the elves are using. So let's see, we're going to give him a red top. And just do some color in here and there. Once again, I grabbed the darker color first, but that's fine. I'll make it work. Sometimes with reds, I tend to do the lighter color first, just because we're going to do some striped tights because it blends a little easier. Because reds can be a hard color, it can bleed, especially if you oversaturate your image. So I try to do the lighter colors with the reds first, and then I try not to, I think I colored in a little bit of his tights there. I try not to color them too deeply because then they, like I said, they bleed to other things. All right, let's add some green. I colored a little bit of his tights here, but fortunately green will cover red. And we're going to do that. Make sure, oh, I don't know if that's part of his tights, but we're going to make it part of his tights. All righty. So for him, for his hair, I'm just going to grab a color I have sitting up here. Let's see, what color hair? We had brown hair. I'm just going to grab E35 and get him some kind of yellowy hair. So I love the fact that you can get your images cut out ahead of time. You know, you didn't have to sit and watch me fussy cut these out, and I can stick them down to, you know, or you can use your dies, you can cut them out and you can stick them to your stick and stamp mat and go sit and color. And it works perfectly. So I guess we forgot to color his eye. He's got some eyebrows here. Okay. We've got that. And now we need to color our package. Well, what I like to do for these types of packages is I tend to leave the packages white. And you've got a lot of red, so I think we're going to use some green. And we're going to use the lighter green. And I'm not going to blend it, because I want it to kind of tie in with the green of the key lime glitter. So we're going to go ahead and color in the ribbon green. And I think that's supposed to be ribbon there. And then, because it's supposed to be tape, I'm just going to grab a very light color, a BG, and I'm going to add that to the tape. I don't remember, I colored this before, what color I colored that tape dispenser. Let's just color it. I'm just going to go wild. We're going to color it blue. So we're just going to color it blue here. There we go. So I'm not sure. I think I said my chat I think is still working, but I'm not 100% sure. Just checking. I've been having, for some reason, my new tablet, it's a Fire tablet, and so I have to use my phone for the chat, which is kind of weird. I see I have a couple spaces here. So if I missed something, please double check, say it again. All right, we've got that and that. We need to color in the gift. So for the gift, I'm just going to use a neutral color. My screen is frozen. Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. Hey, is that better? Yeah, okay, I see what's going on here. All right, there we go. Thank you very much. It says I have a low battery mode, so if you can give me just a second. You're welcome. I'll be right back, guys. I need a favor, babe. Tom? Are you busy? Can you go get my phone cord off the dresser? Okay, it's the longer cord on the dresser, because my battery's dying, I guess. Oh, thank you. No, it wasn't you. It says low battery mode, so I may have to switch. And my honey's gonna go get my cord so I can try to plug in here quick so it doesn't die on me. I'll grab the cord over here because I don't have a long cord down here. I just have my short cord. All right, so we've got another little fun elf here. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know, you guys. I couldn't quite see it up there, and I was just like, well, I looked up and didn't notice I was changing because, you know, I was just coloring away. All right, we've got one little elf here left to go, and he is going to go back to completely red. We're going to color him completely red. But we're going to do red stripes. So they are, when I saw this set in the preview, when they were telling us about what was coming out, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. I mean, it's the perfect set for someone who is making Christmas cards, because these are great, I mean, great for cards to give out, on tags, on little gift packages. And then I also think it's perfect for anyone who's a crafter to make cards for your friends, you know, like great Christmas cards for crafty elves. What I like is, I like that, you know, this guy's not doing nothing, so you could use him for any time of year. You could color him all up, and he can be on a birthday card, he can be on any kind of card. Or, you know, we've got a wrapping, so there's a birthday card, same with this. And then you've got your measuring elves and all these other little elves that can do different things for you. I'm going to give you just a second here. Switch my cord in. I'll take them both, but it's this one. Thank you very much. I was frozen. I may have to switch to a different, so you guys have to let me know if my volume changes too much. I'm going to plug in and probably have to talk up just a little bit. I think we should be good. Give me 1 second here as I unplug my headset here. Hopefully I don't turn us over. Just need an elf that can clean your house. Yeah, those would be nice too. All right, how's my volume? Can you still hear me okay? I'll talk up. If you need me to talk up, just let me know. I'm gonna move my camera just a little bit closer to me. That way, if you know, yep, okay, good. I am going to need to upgrade my phone here, and so I grabbed my old phone, hoping that it would work good. Awesome. I think my regular phone is not, the speaker isn't right. Like, I notice when I'm talking to people on the phone, I can hear feedback, especially if I think if someone has a newer iPhone than me, or crackling noise. So that's going to be on the list to do this this year before Christmas. So, all right, we've got the light, the dark, and so now we're going to go in with the light. I'm kind of mimicking something I did before. I'm going to switch quick to a little bit lighter. This was E37, but I want it to be a lot lighter, so I'm going to grab E27 here. And then we got to quick color up our, it won't take long to get our card put together. We just have to decide what our sentiment's going to be. But there, I have to order the small stamp of the month too, the one that says you're so special, because I think he's so cute. My mom is a quilter, and my sister's also sew. I don't do a lot of sewing because I do cards and that's it. That's good enough for me. But I think he's so cute. I love them with the little needle. All right, now we're going to go and we're going to stripe his tights up quick. I was so excited for this stamp set to come in the mail so that I could use it and play with it. I got it on Saturday, and it was the first thing I pulled open and started crafting right away with it. And if you guys have, I do have the die of the month. I can show it to you. I'm going to use that on my next live. But I really, really loved that. I couldn't wait to get that either this month. Okay, I've got that. But I think I want to give them some traditional colors with like adding in this gold. So we're going to add the gold to the buckle, and I'm going to add the bow. I'm going to add the little pom-poms of gold. We did tie that in. So now our ribbon is green, so we're going to go ahead and back and go and color that in green, even though the ribbons I'm using on my card are both red and green. But we're going to use green ribbon, green tape. I don't know what will both be both. I suppose this is probably tape because he's tearing it with his teeth, right? All right, let's color in the rest of the legs, and then we'll get on our gifts. And what color hair should we color this guy? I don't know, should I give him dark black hair? I don't really want to give him red hair. I don't want to really give him red hair because it is a wearing red outfit. I'll do black. We're just going to tie it in with his belt here. All right. So I don't know if those of you, if you've seen a video of mine before, but a couple of weeks ago, my honey and I adopted a puppy, and he's doing very, very well. Thank you, Donna. Yep, black is what I thought. All right, we're going to add that to that side. I missed it. All right, we got that elf. And I noticed I got just a tiny, tiny bit. So I just keep a white pen, gel pen. I put it on my finger to kind of warm it up, and I'm just going to dot a little bit. I dotted just a little bit of red on the outside here, because then I'm going to let that dry quick while we color up our packages. I do want my packages to be all three colors. We're going to do red, green, and white. So I'm going to push these off to the side. We're going to color up. I got 5 packages here, so we'll make a couple white ones. I think I'll make the big one. I'm just going to quick scribble some gray, because I don't really need it to be super colored in. And then we'll make one of the little ones white. So I'm really just kind of titching the corners with this gray, so that you get some highlights. And then we'll do some ribbons quick, and then we'll color in I'm going to use the darker of the red for the ribbon on these ones. We'll color one with green and one with red. I like the packages on this set too, because they're just nice packages that can be used for, you know, birthdays and celebrations, not just Christmas. I like that I can add some texture to them if I wanted to. What kind of puppy did I get? I got a Texas Healer Rat Terrier mix, and he is about 12 weeks oldish, and he's full of pea and vinegar, but he's doing really good. He gave mommy, I can hear him, he's in the other room, he's whining. He doesn't really bark, he mostly whines. he let mommy on a wild goose chase for almost an hour today before I had to go to work. And I was getting worried, I was getting nervous. He's running in the street, and I was just so worried that he was gonna get hit by somebody because I couldn't catch him. Of course, I had flip-flops on, you know, like slide type shoes, so it was hard to catch him. He's adorable. His name is Fletch, and he is, like I said, he's doing really, really, really well. He doesn't like to stay too far away from mommy, and I know he could have come in the craft room, but I didn't want to be too distracted, so I have the one door shut, and then I have a little barricade up against the other door so he can see me and hear me, but he can't get into me right now. And I don't mind him being in the craft room, but I'm more concerned, like when I'm not home, if there's going to be something he can get into that's going to hurt him. I mean, if he ruins something of mine, that's my own fault. You know, I'm not worried about, oh, he wrecked this. I mean, the pictures, my kids' pictures and scrapbooks are all put up. You know, I mean, he might bite on a corner or something, but I'm more concerned he's going to get hurt. All right, this guy's not sticking too much right there. Sometimes I'm really bad about not protecting my stick and stamp mat from my powder tool. And so I get little spots where I'm not as sticky because I was naughty and didn't pay attention. All right, we got 2 white packages. I think I am going to do 2 green packages, and then we'll do this with red ribbon. He keeps stealing stuff. You know, it's funny. He's been pretty good. He eats a lot of stuff, of course. But I came home, and he's been fairly, you know, good about, I don't let him eat the furniture. I don't let him eat my clothes. But I don't care about blankets and pillows and, you know, that type of thing. I came home yesterday to check on him and take him out to go to the bathroom. And he's been really good. We gave him, Monday was the first day he started getting free reign of the house. I mean, I keep the bathroom doors shut and my bedroom doors shut. But he can go all over, you know, the dining room, living room. And, yeah, he was been really good. And then I come home. Well, he's chewed on a few things. He ate, I'm part Dutch. My grandpa was born in Holland. So we have wooden shoes. And I had a pair sitting on the floor in the dining room in the corner by my plant, and he did chew on those a little bit. No big deal. You know, there's just a few chew marks on him. Well, yesterday I came home in the afternoon to check on him, and right away I walked in the door and I looked on the floor and I saw something, and I looked at him and I'm like, oh, you did it. He chewed my Christmas tree lights. Because last year I didn't end up putting my Christmas tree away. And so it was just in the dining room with the lights on it, and he chewed through it. So we don't have any lights on our Christmas tree anymore. So for me, I keep a stick and stamp mat with my blending buddy all the time so it's ready to go. And then I just put the middle piece of the blending buddy inside. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. I have it taped on because I've been using it a lot. I mean, I've used them in a lot, and I just don't want it to move. But, and I don't want my blending buddy to ever come off. So I don't know if I used my blending buddy right away when I first got this stick and stamp mat. Or if this was, because I have a couple of different ones, so that's why it's taped on. But it's just to remind myself that it's there too. So that protects it. And I use this all the time, and I just keep it to the side. Okay, so now we've got our little guys here. So we're going to add some fun sparkle. So I have some aqua pigment and pearl. It's one of my favorites. Kind of shaking it off to the side here. And we're going to do a couple different things. We're going to add some, this is one of my favorite ways to add some sparkle. I like to water way down because I don't necessarily want the white. I just want the sparkle. But sometimes if you color over with the pearl, it will, too much of the white shows through. So we're going to do that, and we're going to grab this. We're going to make our, I'm going to make our packages all Ooh, my brush is just a little bit dirty, but that's okay. We're going to add that to all the white on the packages. I just love the pearl and how shiny it makes everything. Uh-oh, I hear little footprints coming this way. Oh, they're going to try to come in and see Mommy. Yeah, we were talking about you, Fletch. He's sitting on the other side of the little barricade right now. All right. So I'm quickly just adding some color to the white, and then I'm actually going to grab this and I'm going to add it to the white yellow. I want this to dry fairly quickly because I want to use this one. So I'm going to get this one done right away. And I'm going to add it to his sparkly on his feet. And then, and we got to do it to his collar. Fletch, Linda says hi. Okay, so we're going to let this sit and dry for a little bit. I'm going to leave that pearl there because I wanted to show you what I did with these two guys. I actually just grabbed my glitter glaze, grab a little thing, and I like to paint with my glitter glaze. So I'm just going to use the same paintbrush. I'm just wiping it off. I'm going to go in and I'm going to steal a little bit of that glitter glaze, and we're going to add it to each of the little every other stripe. And it adds just enough when it dries to add a little bit of sparkle without having to do it. And I just think that's a fun little touch. So I'm going to add that to all the little things here. We'll add it to his little, and I have one that's already dry, and I'll show that to you. And then we're going to go ahead, I'm going to do it to his buttons, just touch the buttons, just to add a little of that. And we're going to do it every other stripe. And it's just enough of a sparkle to give you that fun Christmas. And then I think actually let's put a little bit on his shoes. I experimented with it once, and because I wanted it in just a small area, and then I just want to make sure you wipe your brush off really good, you know, and then you get just that little bit of sparkle and just a little bit of area. Wait for the camera to catch up on that a little bit. I don't know. Let's see if I can get closer. I could see it. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and just grab this and I'm going to wipe it off. And I'm going to grab the green and we're going to do the same thing to our other elf. You know, you don't need a lot. And I just use a very small brush, but it's you know, oops, I forgot to put the middle part in. You can do bigger sections. I just tend to do lots of little, you know, it's kind of like, you know, we used to have stickles and puffy paint, things like that. Well, why not use the glitter glaze and then it matches? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab it, and I'm going to do the bigger areas, and then you can just paint it out. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know, around. You just need to add, you're just adding a little shimmer and shine to different spots on his outfit. You can just dip it right in your container. You don't need to get any out on the table. And I just dab it here and there. The nice thing is you can let it dry and you can come back and add more. But you know, the white, you could do this with chroma glaze as well. But if you do this, you know, you do it with white, and you'd add snow. You know, you could add snow to your background. You can add snow to your snow banks. You know, your buildings or trees. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's just, you know, it's snow. Snow is not perfect. It hits different spots. All right, and we'll add just a touch to each of his little, there we go. There we go. He's got some glitter on his stuff too. I got a little extra on my brush here, so let's see if I can get that off. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna wipe that off. Cover that up. I'm gonna just use, just to be safe, I'm gonna set these aside to dry. Got these all ready. I am going to use just a little bit of Squeak Clean. I've had this one a while here. It's almost gone. Poured way too much of it out. It's a hot chocolate. And I'm gonna get my brush in there really, really well and wipe it off so that I make sure the sparkles coming out of there. All right, now let's wipe that up. We'll wipe up my extra aqua pigment so we can move on and finish our card. So I have these already dry. So we've got this one, he's kind of drying, and these are the two I made ahead of time. So we're gonna leave these other ones I colored tonight to the side. I'll finish a card with them later. And then I have my slimline card base and my dry panel. And I was thinking about cutting it down, but I changed my mind and I'm just gonna leave it full. So let's move these guys up a little bit. They're pretty dry, but. And then we just have to choose a sentiment. I'd like to use one of the sentiments from the stash, from the stamp set. We have yourself a merry little Christmas, or there's or deck the halls. I haven't decided which one we're going to use yet. You guys have any thoughts? All right, let's get this down. And I thought this would be kind of fun because it's like that glittery and it's that ribbon that we're wrapping our Christmas gifts with. And we've got all that shine. And then I went ahead and cut down a piece of red glitter stock just to add a little bit more color. Elf yourself, okay. Yeah, we can do that one for sure then. And it's about a 1/2 inch long. And this is what, 8.5 inches long. So that would just add just a little bit more shine. I love the Brutus Mineral glitter stock. I'm sorry if I'm off camera here a little bit. I'm just adding some blue to this quick. And we're gonna add that just down to add just a little bit more shine. And I noticed this was a piece that when I cut, it wasn't quite perfect, but I figured it was fine. I could just cut it off. All right, we'll cut that off and let's get our stuff signed on here. So this guy looks like, the guy with the attitude, he looks like he's in charge here. So I think we're gonna put him over here. And then we got this guy here. We got these two guys here wrapping presents. And oh, we got red and green. Oh, that's okay. We got different things. We got our guy here and then we got a bunch of presents to kind of stack. So let's get these guys stuck down, and then the sentiments, I think I'm going to stamp it in black because then it ties in with the image. So my favorite paper is the Perfect Blend. And we're going to quick stamp this out and get it cut out. Get out of the way so we're not running over too far. And the nice part is I'm going to cut it out with a circle die. I don't know which one, just I'm going to grab a circle die and we're just going to stomp it in, so it doesn't matter if it's super straight. I have not used this stamp yet, so I am going to prep it just a little bit with my fingers. That's what I like to do, and just rub it till it's not quite so clear. That just helps, I feel like, to have the ink stick a little bit better. And then of course using the Misty means you can stamp it down a couple of times. I use my Brutus Mineral or even Detail ink so much that I have to ink it because I use it all day on the weekends. But it's my favorite. All right. Let's see. Have yourself, excuse me, a merry little Christmas. Excuse my singing. Looks pretty good. All right, let's get that in there. I'll clean that off later. Oops, and if you ever get your magnets stuck together, you just slide them apart. This is one of the original. I bought this Misty quite a few years ago before the new ones came out, and so I came with the circle dies. I'll be right. Give me a second. I gotta grab my circle dies. My regular circle dies I have packed for my weekend, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab these really old Spellbinder ones that are here. And then we gotta just make sure this is gonna fit. Okay. Let's stamp that down. I'm gonna cut it down just a little bit here so I can fit it through my little mini die cut machine that I keep on my desk. think. I don't know if I have my plates for it. Oh, I think my plates might be packed. So we're gonna quick go over and cut this out. I'll be right back. All right, got that all cut out. Let's get our sentiment stuck down first. I think we're just going to stick it right here, and I'm going to glue it flat to the tape, and then we'll maybe pop up the elves. So I'm just going to add that, and I am, because I have some of that glitter stock and the glitter glue, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of liquid glue just to make sure it sticks. To me, I find that it sticks the best if you use both. All right, we're gonna just stick this here. Actually, I think I'm gonna stick it up just a little bit higher so we can put a couple packages underneath. And then let's get our elves glued down. This guy, I think I'm gonna, I just got some liquid glue on it. I think I'll just stick something on heavy on top and can let it sit all night. I decided not to pop them up, I guess. I guess I was going to, wasn't I? All right, let's get this guy up a little higher. We'll grab an acrylic block and stick those guys down. Have you guys started Christmas cards yet? And do you have a specific number you make every year? I do not. I sometimes just make Christmas cards. I don't always send them out, but I do make Christmas cards. I think I'm going to just stick this guy right here. Not yet, Linda. Hi, Shannon. How are you? Happy belated birthday. I forgot to tell you. I'm sorry. I felt horrible that I didn't get to you. I hope you had a great day. Thanks, Shannon. I am in love with these. It helps to have these adorable, adorable, adorable stamps. I love them. They're so cute. Okay. All right. So now we've got our packages we can stick down. Well, let's grab some foam tape here, or foam squares. All right, let's go. Let's see here. Yeah, I might have to get some, I might have to leave those down for a little bit after. We'll do that. Let's throw some dimensionals on here. We'll pop up this one, and we'll pop up, let's pop up the red one, and then we'll pop up the little green one, and we'll figure out where they're all gonna go. Actually, no, we won't pop up the green one. We'll pop up the big green one. All right. Alrighty, here we go. Let's see. I feel like we need to have, I'll put the white one over here. Let's throw the little, I don't always have a plan when I craft. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just wing it together. Oh, you did a little Christmas shopping tonight? Ooh, that sounds like fun. Did you buy anything fun, or did you buy it for, was it for the kiddos, or are we not saying? Let's get the red one here. I think we'll stick the green one down here with this one. We'll stick him behind a little bit. And then, and it's fine, Shannon, that's the way it always sometimes works, doesn't it? It was a long day actually for me. I ended up having to run an errand for my boss about an hour away, an hour and a half away actually, and so I ended up being on the road for 3 hours today. So I was glad to come home, and there we go. We got that. So we have a Christmas card. I think this is my second Christmas card of the year. The video I created the other day also used this elf, And this is the card I had, and the video is on the Brutus Monroe channel. This uses the rainbow swirl stencil, and then our little elf. Somebody asked how the stencil made, so I made this card. So this is actually my first Christmas card of the year, and this is my second Christmas card. Thank you, guys. Like I said, it's kind of fun. I love glitter. Oh, that's fun, Shannon. That's awesome. I want a bunch of crazy socks. I looked at socks tonight, actually, at Dollar General before I came home. So, lots of sparkle. Let's see, I don't know if I can get that any closer. I don't have my light handy so that I can show you. Actually, here, I do. I have my flashlight. I have my phone right here. Let's turn the flashlight on. You can see the sparkle a little bit better. Especially on those pearl. The pearl. I love the pearl, how that works. Look at that. And so this uses the inspiration box stamp set, Crafty Elves. So go over to the shop and get that while you can, you know, and the inspiration box comes with the dies, so it's the perfect, it's worth it. And you can create a card like this. You also can use the curly ribbon stencil along with the glitter glaze. And then I did have the die, I didn't show it. I'm going to use it next time. Here's the die of the month if you haven't seen it and used it yet. But I saw this and I was super, super excited about this. And I have a great idea for this, actually, to use this for a card coming up. And I can't wait to play with it. I haven't cut it apart yet because of that, but yeah, the Burlington Coat Factory was your friend tonight. Oh yeah, Shannon, I feel like with Christmas cards you can't have too much glitter. And one thing I was going to say, Shannon, when you were done, what I did to add the glitter to the elves is I used the glitter glaze and a tiny paintbrush, and I just dipped it in and added some glitter. Which, you know what, now that we have this done, we should add a little bit extra glitter to the packages, right? Our packages look kind of boring now, so let's do that. Let's get in there and add just a little bit of shine to our, we'll add it to our ribbons. I'll make sure I just lost my chat here. And I was saying you could do this with chroma glaze too, if you wanted to. And I said like the pearl and the pearl and the alabaster. Alabaster would be perfect for some snowflakes on trees and houses and things like that. Just a tiny little paintbrush, and I just clean it up with a little squeaky clean or some soap and water. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just add just the last little sparkle here tonight. I do appreciate you guys all coming in and stopping by and crafting with me tonight. I'm back in a couple weeks, I think. I don't have a live next week. I'm gonna have another live, I think, in 2 weeks. And I'm going to try to use I'm going to use the die of the month, and we'll see what else. So I'll just add a little bit more of that. I tend to, when I start painting, I tend to get really quiet so that I'm concentrating. And then we'll grab a little bit of the red. And since we added the pearl to the package, we're going to add the red to the ribbon as well. Because we made white packages, but we want the ribbon here to be a little bit sparkly. I'm just, like I said, just touching it. Oh, you're welcome, Donna. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming and joining me, chatting with me, keeping me company. I hope you enjoyed. Please, you know, give me a thumbs up. You know, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, so you make sure you get all the content from any of the videos that are shared by the inspiration team. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. I'm just going to add the last little bit here. Have a fun, safe, happy, fun weekend. Try to stay warm, Donna, where you're at. We were just talking about weather, Shannon, and how cold it was. Donna's colder than me. I'm going to be in the 30s, but she was 10 degrees today. I was like, that is a little bit too, I'm not ready for 10. 10 is, that's December and January colors. So, all right, here we go. Got that done. I'm going to get my paintbrush cleaned off here. And you're welcome, Linda. Thank you very much. Yes, Shannon, for especially for you and down there, down in the south there. Oh, that's okay. I'm not sure. I know you go by Wabbit Season on here. I'm not sure what your name is, but Wabbit Season. That's all right. You can go back if you want and watch the replay. I just kind of put the card together after we did, and I added a little more sparkle to the ribbons. So I appreciate y'all tonight. You guys have a great night. All right. Thank you. Bye.